that I have.
Right.
Because I remember being really poor and
So how did you transition from thinking that you were that poor to now being able to say, I can achieve?
Oh, so I actually thought that I could achieve like when I was really young. Because even if we had all that, it was a simpler life. And I didn't really think about like the things that I have now.
Right.
My mom, she had instilled in me like was the love of books, and I always found a book because in Wesley had a library.
Mm-hmm.
I probably read every book in the library, but there was a library, and I liked it. It was what do you call it? Yeah, like there was a woman in the village. She brought like all these different books from the States,
Mm-hmm.
and she asked me like, hey, do you want to borrow books to read, because she knew I love reading. And I used to take my books and go at the back, like go in the back of the garden and just imagine myself in the stories, or read about places like New York. And I didn't really believe I'd live in New York back then,
but you were visualizing back then as a kid
that I can do it.
Seems that you were almost visualizing what you could be.
Yes.
And I think that is so important that we can touch on the fact that even as a kid with your little goat, you visualized something even bigger and better. And that's what we need to realize, that no matter where we are from or no matter what we're doing right this minute, that is not to say that this is where we should be.
Right.
There is so much more to achieve. And you are just a very typical example of that. You are one of our gems. You are what we should be talking about, because you exemplify what Dominica can do and what our children can do.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't say just me. I think like everyone can do this. Like,
Right.
just you have a dream, just work toward it. I mean, it can sound hard. I never thought I would be in New York,
Right.
but I can imagine myself.
So
trying
did you
be
go
in
to
New York.
college, and tell me what college and tell me what your transition, your academic transition was.
Okay, let's see. So I went to the Virgin Islands for junior high and high school, like after I left Dominica. And before that, when I fell in love with computers, was this guy named John. He paid me to learn when I was 14 years old. Like,
Wow.
it wasn't like a. I didn't think of it as a job, really, because this is something I love doing. Like, I was on the computer 24/7, maybe.
Right.
I hardly slept. My dad kept me at home. He's like, you can't socialize, like you.
I know
studying.
about that.
He was
The
very-
dads who do not let you do anything. Yes.
And Dad, I'm
I had
sorry,
one of
but I have to
those.
say, Daddy, I'm sorry to say this, but you kept me at home. But that's good. I forgive you. No,
It paid off.
it paid off. I mean, I didn't hate it, because this is something that I knew that I had to go pursue when I went to college. And
Right.
I kept up my art, and I kept with technology, and it wasn't what it is now. So I saw the web like evolved
Right.
to
Right.
and what we have now, and
Right.
cell phones with pictures and video, which
Absolutely.
is crazy.
Mhm.
But I went to school in upstate New York.
Uh-huh.
So I came from the Caribbean to New York, like upstate New York in the cold, and adjusting to weather and everything. And I went to RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology.
Mhm.
A really good school, and I'm so happy that I was fortunate to go there.
Mhm.
And well, it's another thing too, because I never thought I would ever go to college there, because my dad wanted me to stay in the Virgin Islands.
Right.
But it's something I thought I needed to pursue. So
Mhm.
so I did the loans thing, the loans and
Yes.
the scholarships and everything, and pursued my goals. Go there, and I studied new media design and imaging,
Mhm.
and I fell into advertising.
Okay.
And for 2.5 years, I worked for one of the largest advertising agencies.
Wow.
And
Wow. And the name of it.
Publicis Modem, which is part of Publicis Group.
Okay.
And now I'm working for a company called Aviary.
Okay.
I'm currently director of design.
Wow, that's amazing, people. Can you imagine? She is. I mean, this is amazing. This is quite amazing. She's actually what you would call a nerd.
Okay. All right.
That is what.
You know what? I like
She's
the word.
one of those.
It's okay.
You embrace
I'm
it.
embracing the word nerd. I am a nerd. I'm fine. I'm okay with that. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. You can call me all that.
And you are a Dominican nerd.
Dominican nerd.
That is what it is. So,
I don't know what it is.
embrace who you are.
That's
this
fine.
Is Dominican source. I think that
this is our lifestyle,
empowering.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
It's just embracing who you are.
yeah, like you can't change that. You like learning. When I was reading this book, it was called Outliers. I think you guys heard about it. They said like you have to put in. Some people put in like 10,000 hours of of something for their profession, I guess. And so I've done my 10,000 hours of drawing and computer usage, so I'm fine. I'm okay with it. It makes money, you know.
Right. And I think also we can even extend that to anyone who is passionate about whatever they are, whether
Exactly.
it's sewing, whether it's fishing, whether
Exactly.
it's just weaving.
Yeah, because
Whatever they have, that's who they are. And as long as you embrace that passion, take that and run with it.
Yeah, because
that's
if you
what
make,
you're saying. That's
yeah, if you
basically-
make a couple mistakes, like for example, you're sewing and you do this line wrong like a couple times, you're gonna get good eventually. You're gonna sew straight eventually
Right.
because you practice, and that's what it is. It's practice. Oh, I can't paint very well. No, after the 15th time, you probably do it better than you did the first time. So
Right, exactly.
that's fine, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being called a nerd if that's what it takes.
And it's okay to make a mistake and bounce back.
Yeah, yeah, it makes you better.
Stronger.
You want to do the same
Okay,
mistake.
so you're into computer programming and graphic design. This is typically a man's world. So tell me how you fit in. What kind of obstacles you faced, and how did you find yourself there, and how did you evolve within that field?
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't really think of it as like a gender field or anything like that. I know a lot of people do. I base it on skills and how hard you want to work for anything, and the gender doesn't even matter when it comes to your job. But when I was growing up, like being into math and science was like unheard of. But I went to a math and science magnet school, and I did want to be an engineer when I was younger.
Right.
And I assumed I was going to be an engineer, but it's because that's what I was passionate about. And I think once you're passionate about something, it doesn't really matter if you're male or female. And yeah, when you get into the real work world, it does seem as if, oh my God, there's only a few females. But I feel like if I'm like one of the first to do it, then that will set a path for the rest of the women to do it, which is good. Which is a very what do you call it?
It's a lonely road.
Yeah, which
It's
is
a
fine.
very heavy burden.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very heavy burden, but you have to make sure that you succeed at it.
Right.
And I think that helps.
So question, we want to know, typically men are very much intimidated by successful women who have power, women who know who they are. How do you get a man to be comfortable with such a beautiful, goal-oriented woman like you?
Wow. Well, it still has to do with the guy's character, I think, how comfortable he is, and that makes him a strong person, and like I feel deserving of companionship, because I can't change who I am, and he has to accept that. I can't change who he is either, but he has to know that my career has nothing to do with him as a person, like me liking him or caring or building a relationship. And we don't have to talk about my job.
So how do
all.
what do you tell women who are in that similar position? And men who are trying to approach you, how would you make them feel comfortable?
I'm sure there's something else you have in common than talking about code. You know, like I said, I like playing video games. I like to cook. I like to go watch movies. We can do that. We don't have to sit in front of my computer and see who's gonna make the best design or the best program.
Right.
You know, so with women, just make the guy know that their job is not what makes the relationship. Don't care about like how much you make. I really don't care about how much a guy makes. I care about like what we can build on and what we can talk about. Yeah.
Right. You are a trailblazer, and I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And you have been awesome.
Thank you so
much. It
much.
was great speaking with you.
Great speaking with you
Awesome.
too. DominicaSource.com. It's our lifestyle.